Hey guys, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. Here we are at the Prado Hospital. And for those that are not sure, because there has been a few people ask questions and it seems a bit confusing. So the Prado Hospital, that is the workshop. We specialise on Prados. Yes, we do work on Prados. Now, we're just here at the Prado Hospital doing some work on this 150 Prado. There's a few jobs to complete. One of them is replacing the injectors, one of the main jobs we do, fuel system specialist on these. And this is a video about, I suppose, it's a little bit about unreliability, not reliability. Maybe I'm gonna have a bit of a whinge. So trying to stay positive and optimistic, but I'm gonna give you some bad news, unfortunately. This is some of the things we don't like. So what we'll do, we'll just get in a little bit closer and I'll show you what the first part of what I'm talking about, right? So there's an extra fuel filter here, okay? I mean, you've got this, it's quite large, the whole bracket, the filter, it's full of fuel. There's another bracket here. There's one bolt. It's a 10mm head, but it's a 6mm diameter bolt. One bolt there, just, you know. So that may not cause any problems. It's probably been that a long time, but you know, just wobbling around like that, I don't like that. I don't know why you would do that or think that's acceptable. You know what I mean? Everything needs to be secured. Having the fuel filter so far from the other side of the vehicle is the next issue, really. I mean, let's have a look where those fuel hoses go. Again, we'll just try and adjust a little bit so that you can see what's going on. Excuse me. Allergy. So, fuel hoses, okay, no worries. With no other protection over them though. Zip tied to the wiring loom and there's another wire there as well. Zip ties cut, they're so sharp the way they're cut. And of course the fuel hose is hanging down on top of that, see the edge of that clamp there? It's not sharp, but it's an edge of a piece of steel, and with rubbing around like that, what do you think might happen? Any ideas? Anyway, you look at that and it goes on from there, it goes further. You know, we can come over here, you probably can't see it from this angle, let's try and come around. I mean, it's just fuel hoses. That's all it is. You know, they're not secured to anything, right? And they're just sort of jammed in behind that EJR valve there, which it gets quite hot, you know what I mean? Do you think you want your fuel heated up any more than it already is? There's a fuel cooler there, there's your hint. There's a fuel cooler that cools the fuel on the way back to the tank, right? So do you think, look, this may not be heating it up, it may not be having any effect, it may never rub through. But what I'm trying to point at is, why wouldn't you just put some protection over the hoses, run it neatly, have it up out of the way, well and truly secured to this wiring loom up above, and with some nice neat zip ties cut on the correct angle, not like, look at this one here. It's just like a razor blade. I don't know if you can see that in the picture there, but anyway, yeah, it's just slightly out of the picture, but they're just like razor blades. Anyway, this is what I'm talking about. Let's get in a bit closer and have a look. So there it is, right? One bolt. Alright. There's your zip tie. Nothing else, all the way. Down behind the hot EJR valve, rubbing on the steel there. And look at those, the end of those zip tie there. Nice and sharp. Wait till you get your hand under that. The back of your wrists on those, beautiful. Okay, let's go around this side of the vehicle. Let's have a look. While we're at it, there's a whole heap of things I can pick on here. Where the wiring is here, where the places these things have been mounted, the lack of insulation in some instances, and chargers being mounted on top of the fuse box. Don't like that either. There's a lot of things I don't like. It's not my job to like it or not, it's not my car, but I just want to give you the information so you can have a think about it, because some people have got no idea, and you're taking your cars to people and places that do this stuff that can make it unreliable and cause other problems, okay? So that's why we're telling you about it. Here's your fuel hoses here. So what they've done is, that's the one over the other side, that's a pre-filter. It happens before this one. Okay, so the hoses come around from behind, straight over not only the hot EGR valve and intake, the hot heater hoses, right, straight over the top of it around there. I'll try and get in there a bit. It's rubbing. Let's just try and get the picture here. All right, how are we going to get you? Hang on. See that clamp there? You know, just rubbing straight on top. You know, can you see that rub mark? I'm going to have to move the light a little bit. You just can't, I mean, you can be lucky. They've been lucky so far, obviously. Sorry about that. We had a little droppage. But see where it's rubbing there? So the hose is rubbing on the clamp is going to cut a chunk into the hose and eventually leak. And the hose rubbing on that thin alloy pipe of the heater is going to rub through eventually. Like, you know, it could be not for years, but I'm not into whens and maybes and ifs, if you know what I mean. What I'm trying to point out here is things need to be done neatly and reliably, right? Look, these sharp zip ties again, you know, they're like razor blades, right? Here, have a look at that, right? Just cut them off flush and neat, not on an angle. They're all over the joint. Another one there. Look at the angle on that one. Just waiting to slice me open while I'm down working on here replacing these injectors. So something needs to be done about that. So we're going to have to talk to the owner and see if it's something that he wants to spend more money paying for my time to fix and rectify, or it's something you want to plug around with yourself and sort it out. But I certainly wouldn't leave, well, I don't have extra fuel filters. Our Prados, they've got 2 fuel filters already. It's proven that you don't need it, but each to their own what you want to have there. But this is making it quite unreliable. What I'd be doing is cutting off that hose right there, and this one here, right, and running it straight to the fuel supply right there and bypassing the whole thing and getting it out of there. That makes it 100% reliable. There's vehicles that have done hundreds of thousands of Ks. You know, I'll give some examples that have come in 400,000 Ks. You know, I'm not recommending this, but there's been vehicles with 300,000 and 400,000 Ks on original injectors. Bada bing. There's cars with extra fuel system filters like this, and they've got contamination, it's got the injectors, done damage, all this sort of thing. And there's vehicles that haven't got the filters and have been fine. So they're not, although you may cut them open up, have a look and see some dirt in there and all your thing, that's fine, but it's not preventing a catastrophic situation. So anyway, installations need to be done neatly. I hope you get the picture. Cut the zip ties, put some corrugated split tubing, round it the correct way. There's another little mark there, I don't know if you can see that on the heater pipe there where the hose has been rubbing, see? Straight right in the middle of the picture there, right about now. Right, it's only a light rub mark, but those pipes are only light as well, you know. So eventually, trust me, we've seen it, these pipes rub through with things and the fuel hoses rub through also. Alright guys, hope that's helped. You know the deal. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe, give us a thumbs up if you got something out of that, and give us a comment. Do you have an extra fuel filter, and why? And have you got it installed properly? What was the proper bracket? Because these sorts of things here, you know, just hope you get where I'm coming from. It's not genuine, original, reliable Toyota engineering.